50 years of Singapore. But will our country have another 50 years? When Singapore was Temasek in the 14th century, it came to prominence and then disappeared in 100 years. Will Singapore today go the same fate that our island has, to rise to its peak in the 21st century and then disappear before the 21st century is over? Now, what makes a country? A country is not made by the government. A country is made by its people and the quality of its people. Now, how strong Singapore can be does not depend on the government. It depends on what Singaporeans can give, what we stand for, and who we are. Now, but who are we? Singaporeans are hardworking people, and we are proud of it. We are kiasu. We speak English, and we are proud of it. Now, it is good to be proud, but sometimes has being proud also made us too proud to admit the truth, too proud to admit that things need to change, too proud to admit that we are scared, that we fear what will happen when things change. Do Singaporeans have what it takes for Singapore to make it for not just another 50 years, but another 100, 200, or 500 years? Now, do Singaporeans have the grit, the willpower, the courage, and the fierceness to do so? Or are we too scared to lose what we have? And even when we know that if we do not fight, that we might lose even more, are we too scared? And we choose not to fight? Now, when things finally break down, and the trains break down, and Singapore breaks down, who can we blame? 60%. The government? 60%. PAP? Yes. 60.1%. Or should we blame ourselves for not having risen up when it matters? To fight for our own lives, for our freedom, for our truth, for justice, for morality, for ourselves, for our people. Now I thank the thousands of you here today and the thousands who have come for being here. You took that step. You came here to stand up, to fight for ourselves, for your families, and your future. Now, but there are thousands more Singaporeans who are not here today, who might be watching the video of this protest in the comfort of your homes, praying and hoping that things will change. But things will not change if we do not stand up, when we do not speak up, when we are always hoping that someone else can do it, and hope that a hero will fight and change things for us. Well, heroes come and go. They put a face to the fight, but they can only fight for as long as there are fighters among us. They can only fight when there is an army with us, and that is willing to change and take back what is ours. Now, so that we can take our lives back on track. Now, but when the hero stands alone, now when the fight is over, they can only fight for as long, and life goes back to normal. Now life goes on, we get angrier, the hero dies. We get angrier, another hero comes up, he dies. We get even angrier. Nothing changes. That is because we never stay strong and we never fought for ourselves. Now about the people who are here, we have a dream. We have a hope. We want a better future for the people. We want happiness, justice, freedom, equality. Now we want people to be treated right. Now I stand here like you, like all of you, because I believe that we can change things. I still have hope. I believe that if we stand and if we fight, we can put things right. Now, but will things change? This is something I ask myself all the time. When everything is done, I lose everything, but at least I stood for one thing. At least we stood for one thing. At least we did what we could for ourselves. Now the CPF is only one issue, but it is a big issue. For many Singaporeans, they do not care about the CPF. You know what the PAP does with it? It doesn't matter. I just want my money back. I just want to be able to retire. But maybe this is the folly of the title of our protest. Return our CPF. Maybe that is our mistake. For we created a protest to demand for our CPF to be returned. But it is not just that. It is not about asking the government to return our CPF. Many Singaporeans do not care. We just want our CPF so that we can retire, we can go shopping, we can go on holidays, maybe set up a business. But the CPF is more than that. In 1968, PAP took our CPF as their own money for social and development. They took our CPF to build the ports, the airport, roads, and other infrastructure. But most importantly, the PAP legislated and took your money to build HDB flats. At that time, Singapore did not have enough money. So the government took our CPF. Okay, maybe it's okay. It helped Singapore to build things up. Our country got richer, Singaporeans got richer. That was in the 1960s and in the 1970s. In 1964, PAP wanted Singaporeans to own our homes. If you own your home, they believe that you would fight for your country, that you would protect your home, and you would not change anything. Now they were right. How many Singaporeans would protest today? Too scared to lose our homes, too scared to lose our jobs. And so we get to keep our jobs, and the PAP gets to keep their jobs. In 1968, PAP allowed the CPF to be used to buy our homes. Then they increased the CPF contribution rate from 10% to 13% and all the way to 50% in 1984. Today it is 37%. PAP needed more and more money to use because they can build more flats and earn more money to use. In 1985, when the recession came, Professor Lim Chong Ya, who headed the CPF study group, told the PAP, stop using our CPF for HDB. But did the PAP listen? Then the recession came. PAP did not listen. They built too many flats and caused the recession. Our CPF is very cheap money for the CPF. For the PAP, they took so much money from us. They took so much CPF from us that they got addicted to it.
That's right.
In 1994, HDB decided to build more flats again. By 1997, the recession happened. Ma Bao Tan said, PAP built too many flats again. There were more than 30,000 flats that were unsold. Now in 1984, the PAP wanted us to own our flats because it was the 25th anniversary of Singapore. They wanted Singaporeans to feel good. Today, Singapore is celebrating its 50th birthday. Again, PAP wants Singaporeans to feel good, and PAP will hold the elections again, like they did in 1984. Time and again, the PAP gives us carrots, and we take it like rabbits in a cage. But why? They made us hungry. They pay us low wages, they give us low returns on our CPF, and they pay so little for healthcare that Singaporeans have to choose to die instead of go to a hospital. But the PAP let themselves get richer and richer. Today they earn the highest salaries in the world. GIC and Temasek are among the richest sovereign wealth funds. We have many billionaires and millionaires in Singapore. But we have also many Singaporeans who cannot survive. Are we really a first world country? Or have we gone back to being a third world country?
Yes.
In 1950, the poverty rate in Singapore was 20%. Today, under the PAP, it might have grown to 25 or 30%. More Singaporeans are in poverty today, and the PAP says they cannot define the poverty line because of a cliff effect. Now in the 1980s, PAP started increasing the prices of the flats. They say, if you want a good location, a good view, you pay more for it. Then they say they will start including land costs into the flat prices. Today, the construction of a flat, for a 4-room flat, it might be only $80,000. For a 5-room flat, it might only be $100,000. Each Singaporean, every flat we buy, we are losing $100,000, $300,000, even $500,000 if we buy a BTO flat. Because the PAP included the land cost in HDB flats. But they know we do not own the land. They say that you rent your flat for 99 years, the flat will go back to them, the land will go back to them. If so, why are we paying for the land? Why are we paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for the PAP, for their land, for their free money?
And also my property tax.
Now this is free money for the PAP, free from Singaporeans. Then they created the lease buyback scheme. So after making us pay so much for our own homes, they tell us, maybe your home is not so important after all. Do they even understand what homes mean? Would Lee Hsien Loong sell his own house so that he would have enough for retirement? Now from 2008, land costs rose 19.2%, resale flat prices rose 9.1%, but incomes only rose 5.3%. Our wages were rising very slowly, but the PAP was increasing the land prices very quickly. So today we earn less and less on our CPF, but we have to pay more from our CPF to pay from the flats. Now from 1974 to 1988, Singaporeans were earning 6.5% on our CPF. In 1986, the PAP said they will peg CPF interest rates to market rates so that they will give you good returns. Have you ever seen your CPF interest rates go back to 6.5%? From 1986, after the PAP changed the interest rates, our interest rates have kept going down. They tell us, if interest rates go down, your flat prices will also go down. But from 1986, flat prices went all the way down to 2.5%, but flat prices went all the way up. And if Singaporeans cannot retire today, Who caused it?
Teacher PAP! Master PAP!
Now the PAP takes our CPF and gives so little back. In the end, they earn. They earn from our CPF, from our HDB, from the land, from Singaporeans. Now today, Singaporeans have two major assets, HDB and CPF. But we think we have two major assets. But the CPF is not your retirement fund. The HDB is not your home. PAP doesn't think that way. Your CPF and your homes are their cash cows. Now we have no assets. We have no homes. At the end of the 99-year lease, your HDB has no value. The land goes back to the PAP, and the PAP remains very rich.
Yeah! They are rich! Don't say we are rich ah!
That is why I say the CPF is more than that. The CPF is not your money. The CPF is the PAP's money. It's very cheap money. Very easy. Very cheap. Where else can they get anything so easy and so cheap? Does the PAP think that Singapore is Geylang? Does the PAP treat Singaporeans like Geylang? Why do you think they keep telling you 2.5% on your CPF is safe and secure? If they can earn a higher interest rate, the GIC and Temasek can earn for themselves. Now, if the PAP thinks that 2.5% is so good, why don't we let GIC and Temasek earn 2.5%? And Singaporeans can earn 6% to 16% on our CPF. Now let us take the risk for ourselves. We do not need the PAP to pretend to take care of us. Singaporeans can take care of ourselves. The PAP says there needs to be a CPF minimum sum because we do not know how to take care of our money. But does the PAP know how to take care of our money? Now the PAP wants everything cheap. Cheaper, faster, better. The PAP is so cheapskate. They make Singaporeans so cheap. But will the PAP make themselves so cheap? Why do they pretend to be so high class? We are paying PAP for a service. And we get so little in return. The PAP is supposed to serve us, but instead they make us pay them to serve them. Now we are asking the government to do a very simple job. It's very simple. Do your job and take care of Singaporeans. Then the PAP says, pay us millions of dollars and we will take care of you. And so we pay them millions of dollars. Is the job done? They want Singaporeans to be cheaper, faster and better, but the PAP became more expensive, even worse and slower. Are we getting value for money?
Crash them down! Crash them down! We prefer Obama!
Singaporeans, we are cheaper than Geylang. But has the PAP ever made themselves cheap for us? If they think that they are too good for Singaporeans, we are too good for them. We can find a better government
Obama!
which will serve us with respect. We do not need a government which only knows how to make themselves feel good. For the past 50 years, PAP has taken your money to make money for themselves and has tied the CPF to every part of the Singapore economy. The GIC, Temasek, the government links company. PAP owns as much as 60% of the Singapore economy. PAP has used your CPF to prop up the Singapore economy. Without your CPF, the PAP is nothing.
That's right. Because of CPF, they reach that.
Without your money, the PAP is nothing. And this is why the PAP is so scared. All that they have created for themselves today, they could do it because of your CPF. They can get rich today because of your CPF, because of what they legislated in 1968. Without your CPF, the PAP will have to listen to you. But when you do not have your CPF, you have to listen to the PAP. That is why I say the CPF is more than that. It is not just about wanting your money back. As long as the PAP can control your CPF, as long as they can use it to build HDB, to give to GIC and Temasek Holdings without returning it to you, you can forget about your rights. Because the PAP will be able to control you like they can today. At the National Day rally, Lee Hsien Loong said the CPF minimum sum is not too much. So he increased it to 161,000. But if 90% of Singaporeans cannot meet the CPF minimum sum already, then why did the PAP increase the CPF minimum sum? What kind of Prime Minister is this to tell 90% of Singaporeans that if you cannot meet the CPF minimum sum, the CPF minimum sum is not too much? In any other country, the people would have voted the government out by now. Now why do you think the PAP threatened you with your citizenship? If you renounce your citizenship, they will make it difficult for you to become a Singaporean again. They threaten you so that you will not take your CPF out. Which country treats its citizens like shit? In any country, the citizens would have voted the government out. Now if the PAP knows that Singaporeans do not have enough in our CPF, why do they keep increasing the CPF minimum sum? What will they do to increase our CPF? Now does the PAP care about Singaporeans? Or does the PAP care only about their own money? We have given them 50 years. 50 easy years. You don't change things. You don't change things at home. We change them. They think you're okay if they take your money to earn. It's free. It's cheap. You are cheap. Now if PAP wants to make money, then get out of government. Go set up their own business. Do not turn Singapore into a company and make money for yourself. Now we are Singaporeans. We have our rights. Remember that. We have our rights. We are the rightful owners of this country. If the PAP wants to steal our country to make money for themselves, then we will fight back. And we will kick them out. It is not the PAP that decides what Singapore should be. It is Singaporeans, it is you, and all of us who decide what Singapore should be. PAP wants to use our homes to control us. Will you let them use your homes to control you? Why should we let the PAP threaten us? Why should we let the government hold Singaporeans ransom? It is the PAP that should be scared. Without our CPF, the PAP is nothing. Without Singaporeans, the PAP would have no country to run. Our country is not made by the government. Our country is made of the people and the quality of the people. Now, so what will we do? And for those of us who are sitting at homes and watching this video, now what will you do? The CPF is more than that. We have let the PAP be in government for too long. Is 50 years too long for the PAP to be in government? When you let a CEO run a country, a company for more than 50 years and pay the CEO too much money, will the company still be around? Now, oh, will the company start failing? Is it a coincidence that our trains are starting to fail? This is just a start. But our Singaporeans really need to admit that our country is starting to break down. Or do we choose to pretend? Do we choose to pretend because we are scared? Because we fear change? Because we are scared of getting our own hands dirty? Now I say this to the people at home. Are you going to stand up? Now PAP has used our CPF for 50 years. And if you do not kick them out, they will continue to use it. Yes. This is cheap money for them. They make you cheap. Today, the PAP is addicted to our CPF like gamblers and addicts. They want more from you of your CPF. Now, Singaporeans have been telling the PAP, increase our wages, give us higher CPF interest rates so that we can earn more on our CPF. But has our wages increased? Has our CPF interest rates increased above 2.5%?
They must be forced!
Now, if they increase your wages, if they increase your CPF interest rates, they earn less money. And they won't do that. Are you more important? Or are their lives more important? And then the PAP created the MediSave and MediShield to earn money from you. Today we have 66 billion inside the MediSave, but last year we only withdrew 5.5%. What happened to the other 95%? Today, the PAP takes our CPF to invest in the GIC. PAP takes our money to put in the GIC, but they did not want to let us know. In 2001, Lee Kuan Yew denied that GIC uses our CPF. In 2006, Lee Kuan Yew denied that GIC takes out CPF.
How come they get away?
In 2007, Low Tia Kiang from the Workers' Party asked PAP, he asked Ng Hen, did GIC use our CPF? PAP said no. Now the PAP has been taking our CPF from 1981 to put into the GIC. And yet the PAP can tell us they do not interfere in the GIC. But when you look at the GIC board of directors, Lee Hsien Loong is the chairman. Taman, Teo Chi Hian, Lim Heng Kiang, Heng Swee Kiat, the ex-Transport Minister Raymond Lim are also on the board of the GIC. Lee Kuan Yew is a senior advisor. And they tell us that they do not interfere in the GIC. And they tell us that they do not use our CPF to give the GIC. Now, but back to the question, what will Singaporeans do? We get angry at the PAP, we scold the PAP, and then we hope the PAP can change. But how can a leopard change its spots? The problem in Singapore today is the PAP. The problem today in Singapore is the PAP. Now we know that. But yet we hope that one day they will have a change of heart.
I don't think so.
Now we are asking a PAP that owns 60% of the economy, which have earned from your CPF and HDB and are very comfortable with that. Where Singapore is ranked by the Economist as the 5th highest on the crony capitalism index, where cronies have gotten rich because of their connections to the PAP. And they will want to protect the system because it helps them get rich. And we still hope that the PAP won't have a change of heart. Now if you control everything, your interest is not in taking care of Singaporeans. It is not in taking care of the people. It is to ensure that you can still earn what you have. Your interest is to keep earning money for yourselves to protect your power and your money. Now, no matter how much the PAP bag, no matter how much Singaporeans bag the PAP, they will never change. You have seen it at the National Day rally last week. And yet, after tearing down the National Library, the old National Library, the PAP wants to tear down the Chinese garden and the Japanese garden and build a new Jurong Lake garden. For who? For their own jewels. Now does the PAP still have a heart? Now but as humans are selfish. Humans are greedy. When you let anyone have too much power, power gets into their head. Now if we are selfish, how can we blame the PAP for being selfish.
60% selfish!
It is us who have given the PAP too much power. We give them too much access. And that is why they can abuse their power. Now at the end of the day, Singaporeans, we are the partners in crime. Now we and you at home are the partners in crime. If we have not sent the PAP into the government elections, after elections, we would not have allowed the PAP to get addicted on our money. If the PAP has gotten addicted today, Singaporeans, we caused it.
60% complicit! What them out?
Now if there's anyone we should scold, anyone we should blame,
60%!
it is ourselves.
We have repented. 60% of the
Now the system today is broken. It is not just about the CPF. Wages are too low. Singaporeans earn the lowest wages among the highest developed, highest income countries. We are now the most expensive place to live in. Our purchasing power has decreased. By adjusting our contribution rate to the CPF, the PAP can also reduce our purchasing power. Now PAP increases rents and make prices too expensive. They spend very little to maintain the MRT trains so that they keep breaking down. The PAP's agenda is very clear. It is to make money. Now spend less and earn more and have lower quality. Is this how you want Singapore to become? It is clear that the PAP's way of working will no longer work for Singapore. But like someone asked just now, what is the role of government? Have we ever thought about that? Is the role of the government to protect the people? Is the role of the government to ensure that Singaporeans can afford health care so that we do not choose to die? And so that we do not wait for hours in the emergency because we do not have enough money to upgrade to a higher ward? Now it's the role of the government to encourage Singaporeans to be educated and not to tell Singaporeans that it's okay not to get a degree. Now it's the role of the government to afford affordable education for Singaporeans instead of keep increasing childcare education and university tuition fees. Now it's the role of the government to maintain the train tracks so that the trains can keep traveling faster and smoother and not spend money decorating the buses and inviting performers to perform when we wait in the jams.
That's right.
Now we have to thank the PAP of the earlier generations for taking care of Singapore and bringing Singapore to where it is today. They had the heart for Singapore. Now we might not agree with everything that they do, but at least they were committed to building Singapore to where it is today. But maybe it was because times were hard, so the PAP worked hard to make Singapore a success. But the PAP today, many of them grew with silver spoons in their mouths, too used to the comfort that they do not know hardship. They do not know how hard it is to earn $1,000 every month, to be unemployed and to earn very little and have little savings. The PAP today cannot understand that. The PAP today no longer knows what it means to take care of the citizens and what it means to be government. But we cannot blame them. They have lost touch. Now if so, let us help them. Let us help them lead government respectively. Let us put in place a government which will have the heart and the minds to listen to Singaporeans, to take care and to protect us. A government which will ensure that Singaporeans will not be left out for healthcare, for education, and that every child will be treated with equal opportunity. Now let us help the PEP and let us do this for ourselves. Let us create a new beginning. Let us put the past behind. Celebrate what the old PEP has done. Thank them and be grateful to them. But let us help the new PEP live gracefully so that we can start a new beginning, so that Singaporeans can start a new beginning.
They are millionaires already! Enough!
Now what we want is a country where our people will be taken care of, where our people can grow old and be treated well after years of working so hard for our country. Now what we want is a country where our people are kind to one another, where I will stop and help you because it is the decent thing to do, where work hours are not so long, where we have enough time for ourselves, enough time for one another, our families, our children, and our friends. That is all that Singaporeans want.
We want our dignity!
Now what we want is a place that we can live in, where we will be respected, happy, fulfilled. Not because we have so much money, not because we can buy the next branded thing, but because our lives are good enough. Because we are free and happy with dignity. Now that is all we want. And that is all Singaporeans want. But my friends, if you want to see this happen, we cannot sit and wait for someone to do it for us. We cannot hope that a hero will rise and save us. Your hero is the enemy of the PEP. And the PEP will go all out to terminate your hero. Now there is no hero. There are only heroes. And each of these heroes lie within us, within our strength. All of us. All of us are capable of change. Perhaps we do not know our power and our abilities because we are not yet able to see beyond ourselves. It took me a while. But it is time for us. Singapore doesn't have too long. It is time. It is not just about the CPF. It is not just about wanting the CPF back. It is about knowing how the PEP takes our CPF to earn money for themselves, how they can control it and use it to control the economy and our homes, and they can use the CPF to control your lives. It is about how the PEP has used this system to make money for themselves, while the rest of us Singaporeans earn low wages, earn low retirement funds, and we have to keep working to produce money for them. Now once you understand this, you understand that you cannot wait. That you cannot wait and hope that the PEP will change. If the PEP can change, pigs will fly. Now the government is not the be-all and the end-all. The government is only human. The government is just like us. And it is us. Let us put in a government which has a heart and which will listen to us. Let us put in a government which will do things, actually do things to improve our lives. Now let us give ourselves a chance. Let us give ourselves a chance. We do not want to wait until it is too late. When things start falling apart before we do something about it. Things can look good today, but we know of many other places which have unraveled overnight. And if we truly care for our homes, if we truly care for our lives, we will do what it takes to protect our homes, our lives, and our country. Now stop waiting. You are the hero you have been waiting for. You are the change you have always wanted. Be the change you want to see.
Crash them down!
Now many Singaporeans and patriots spoke up because they want to change things in Singapore. But the PAP never listened. So it is time, my friends. It is time we look beyond our lives. It is time we look beyond ourselves and do this for our country. It is time we stand up one time for ourselves, for our country. Now we can no longer sit and wait and see our country unravel in front of our very eyes. So stop hoping, start believing, start taking action, and let's do something.
Don't believe that!
For if we want our country to succeed and ourselves to have a future, then it is up to us. Heroes are not made by one or two, but the heroes of a nation are the brave men and women like you who decide to stop what is not right and decide that for the greater good we will emerge and regain our confidence, our belief, and work to make it happen. So are we going to help ourselves?
Don't believe that! Put that out!
Now can we be the heroes that our country needs? When the time comes, and it is very soon, I hope that we have given much thought. And no matter how much carrots we are given, we will no longer be the rabbit trapped in the cage, but we will be the Singaporeans that will break out of the cage. We will find our own parents. We will take responsibility for ourselves, to own our lives, to live our own lives, and to fight for what is right for ourselves, for our country, for our people, for our families, for our children. Now the PAP of the past has done good, but the PAP today is no longer what Singapore needs. The time has come for a new dawn and a new beginning. The PAP needs us to survive. They need our CPF, but we cannot let this go on. We do not need them to survive. We need to let the PAP go, so that Singaporeans will have a chance, so that Singapore will have a chance. So Let us help the people. Let us help ourselves. If Singapore is to remain our home, we have to give it a new lease of life. Let us join hands and do this. Let us give our country a new hope. Let us give ourselves one more chance for ourselves. Let's do this! Thank you.